Financial planning for your 40s. You've come to the right place. Welcome to Canada Now, where we look after your daily needs. And right now, we're focusing on your financial planning. My name is Naresh. This is my friend Paul. And last 2 weeks, we've done financial planning in your 20s and then financial planning in your 30s. And Paul, we're here today. Financial planning for your 40s.
Yeah, so this is a good time to assess your current financial situation. Checking out your budget still, hopefully keeping track on the budget. Clear any outstanding debts. This is the time where you have your kids are kind of growing now. They're probably into some major sports, possibly. So this is a financial spot that you're spending a few dollars.
Depending on the sport,
it's a good time to start continuing your savings if you have been saving from your 20s. So you want to boost those savings.
Let's start with some of the major points. First thing I'd like to say is, again, there might be some people, Paul, that most people by in their 40s usually have married, settled down, got kids, right? So there might still be people who are single and basically they're just going on about their lives. What do you think? They should visit our lectures, not podcasts on, could be lectures, podcasts in 20s, 30s. That pretty much still applies to them in their 40s, getting to
So everyone should have a plan. They have possibly some retirement goals, stuff like that. So keep at it.
So those are the people that are single and are still going at it.
Keep
that plan going that we had suggested in our previous podcasts.
So just you should always be checking your plan, your budget. If you have career growth, maybe focus in on some career development. There's always that stuff. Just keep it moving. But again, it's always the plan. Keep the plan and budget, and you'll thank yourself later in life when you feel comfortable.
That's right. So let's look at the first thing, maximizing your retirement savings. You're getting closer to, you set a goal of retiring at 60 or 65, or maybe working part-time after 60 or 65. So it's really important to maximize retirement savings.
So continue, if you have your RSPs or TFSAs, try to maximize those as much as you can. If you get raises or bonuses at work, maybe use that to invest, but try to continue to maximize, because again, it comes down to that compound interest that you're going to keep, every decade it's just going to grow, right? So really maximize as much as you can. I know some of the bills and life happens during that time, but again, maintaining emergency fund that you have, keep the short-term savings. Again, it all applies right through
and it's
your life, right?
Really important now to maximize your retirement savings because you're getting close and you have less time. If you haven't started at all in any type of retirement savings, then it's critical to now get started on it with a financial planner.
So if you invested in your 20s for 10 years and then stopped until like 60, you'd be better off than starting now in 40s.
Right, okay.
Just
you have more time.
It's about time. Time is key. So, but it's never too late. If you haven't started financial investing or saving for retirement, get at it.
You may already have a financial retirement plan through work. Yes, keep that going. But sit down with a financial planner and see what your needs will be when you're 60, 65. Are you planning to travel a lot? Are you planning to just stay at home? If kids you might still be supporting. This is where financial planners come in.
They're your go-to. You regularly meet them at least annually, but you could set up some time that you meet them every 6 months or whatever. But there's someone to help you stay on track, right? So you want to keep someone that'll it's just to bounce some ideas off of and keep moving, keep you on track, right? So
it's kind of like going to a doctor every year and having a financial checkup, health checkup. And then getting older now. Give a health checkup every year or have a dental checkup every 3 or 4 months. You should have the same thing with a
checkup.
financial planner.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, investments that you have, our second point, quick, we got to look at is diversify your investments.
Yeah, so when you're younger, you're probably going to look at a lot of growth, and as you get closer to retirement, you're going to change your portfolio probably. But you're still in your 40s. If you got another 20 years, you can still be in some growth. So it's just always checking. You got to follow it as well with your financial planner. Like, are we on track? You want to keep some growth going, or do you want to pull back a little bit? So yeah, diversify, and just in general, you should be diversifying through, not just having one single stock or something. It's just diversify onto many different companies.
And again, your financial planner can whether you're going through a bank or whether you're going through family guy or girl that they can help you, absolutely help you. Reach your goals, point to your goal.
They can tailor something towards your needs because everyone's different. Yeah. No one has the same plan.
Exactly.
Everyone has a different plan, so they can tailor it to your needs. So,
absolutely, paying down high interest debts.
Yes. So hopefully, from your 20s to your 40s, hopefully, you haven't racked up or accumulated a lot of debt. But if you have, you don't want to get too much debt till you get closer to retirement, right? So you want to make sure that you're paying that off as quickly as possible, especially the high interest debts like credit cards, Visa. You might want to consolidate all that. But again, if you're working with a financial guy, it maybe can help you make some decision on how to consolidate. Some of the big purchases, some might be buying a home in their 40s, right? So there's a lot of big purchases that come with that. So, and then you got your vehicles and all that stuff. So this is all part of the planning. So, if you can, try not to rack up high interest debt. But
if you have credit card debts, some personal loans that you may have taken out for whatever reason, do your best to consolidate everything. And if you're not able to, pay them off separately, put it all together. There's plans for that, and pay it off as fast as you can.
Yeah, so you also want to plan for major expenses, right? So those could be home improvements, could be children's education. You want to plan for those major things that occur, right? So
so again, sit down with your partner, your husband, wife, and plan it.
Yeah, you should all be on the same page. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's critical that you plan it to avoid stress. If you plan it, then look at all your expenses, look at what's coming in, look at what's going out, look at where you can save for emergency saving, which is my next point, build emergency savings, which is what you said before.
So you should always try to maintain your emergency savings.
3 to 6 months.
Sometimes you may have to, 3 to 6 months is good. It's again yours, so you figure out what your major
comfort levels are.
Comfort. Some people like to put a lot of money in there and leave it. That's fine. It's just if you dip into it, try to put it back as quickly as you can. So you always have it. So it's not like you dip into it and then 5 years later you dip in it. You keep dipping into it and not replenishing it.
Yeah.
So always maintain that emergency fund.
The thing is also, Paul, you have to have at least 6 months, I think, because what if you lose your job?
Yeah,
you're in your 40s and you lose your job. You get laid off. Something happens.
If you have a job that may not be as secure, then I would keep as much as up to 6 months, so you can at least gives you 6 months to live off those expenses, and then you could find a job. If you're pretty secure in your job, then you might not want 6 months. You can have 3 months or whatever, or even a month's worth, just to cover major bills. Say your roof goes, and you can cover that. So
your job. So at least if you're comfortable in your job, you think everything is going okay. Save money for possibly as Paul said, roof needs to be replaced, transmission needs to be replaced, car needs to be replaced. So all these are expenses in 40s that can pop up because you've had your car for now 10 years. You may want to replace it. So plan for that. Don't run up your credit cards at this point in your life. Plan for kids' college.
So hopefully, like once you started having kids, you started putting money away and aside. But in your 40s, they're not quite college. You may have some that are starting college.
Well, depending on when.
Depending on when. I mean, the 40s, you got 10 years in there. But when you're, you want to plan like what school they're going to. Are they going to a local college? They're going to university? Are they going
because the costs are different,
right? And then if they're going to be moving away, are they living at home? I have one that's in university that's away, and then one that stayed locally. So, financial differences, right?
So the costs are different.
Yeah. So just plan for that. So where's your kids want to go? What's it going to cost? How much have you saved?
And we
are
had
you going to
spoken
need to help with that?
Yeah, we had spoken last time, Paul, about maybe dropping by your bank or your financial planner and opening an RESP.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've done that by now. You're in your 40s, you've got kids, you've done that, and that's well on its way. But if you have not, that's a major thing you can take advantage of through, again, you can go through your bank or your financial planner, RESPs.
Yeah. And then, you don't want to you want to try to help the kids out so when they hopefully come out of school debt free.
You don't want your kids to be saddled with thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
They may still have some
loans,
debt. Yeah.
Student loans could go for a long time, but you want to. This is part of the planning, right? It's a lot of planning, so you want to make sure that you're staying on track of that.
Another important thing in the 40s again is also review your insurance coverage.
If you've had insurance since your 20s, it's been 20 years. Like, how much do you need? Do I need more? Do I need to lengthen it? You've got a family now, so as soon as you start a family, you want to make sure that they're covered, right? So, say you had a $200,000 policy, well, you might want to up that to $500,000, depending. It's all on your home, what you're dealing with at home. So, you want to make sure that you're covered, and whoever goes, that their spouse is covered, and they don't have to scrounge, and they're set.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not that they say you don't have to work anymore, but it's just like they can still work, but at least you left them with some.
Yeah, there's all kinds of insurance, Paul? Like critical illness insurance now. If you get, God forbid, some kind of critical illness befalls you, there's insurance for that. There's life insurance. Of course, you have to have auto insurance and all that. But
disability insurance.
There's disability.
There's all kinds of insurances. So again, that's part of the plan.
Yeah. This is where, a good financial planner comes in and says, you know what, you're going to need this. I don't think you need this. And they'll tell you.
Yeah, because you want to, not everyone needs life insurance, but, if you want to make sure, especially if you have young kids, and one of you passes, you want to leave, your spouse in a somewhat of a good situation so they're not scrounging and, having
a difficult time afterwards. Yeah.
And hopefully, families there to help and stuff like that. But insurance, really review your insurances at this time. If you don't have any insurance, look at it and make sure that you're covered if you need to be.
Yeah, and there's different levels of coverages available in life insurance, home insurance, so again, this is where you sit down with your financial planner, maybe an insurance expert, and sit down and say, hey, this is my situation. I've got 2 kids, 3 kids, this is what the mortgage I have, this is what, so what kind of coverage can I be looking for? So those are the experts that can help you out. It's very important to talk to these experts rather than just trying to make decisions just by yourself.
Another part of the kind of planning is the estate planning. Make sure you have a will in place. In your 40s, your parents are getting older as well, and then you have kids, so you got a lot of family to look after. So making sure yourself, you have wills or power of attorneys or wherever you need to be. So again, speak to your financial advisor about that. There's, or if you have a lawyer, a will is very important. It just helps with that estate planning and stuff. So
absolutely. If something happens to you, it makes the process so much easier and straightforward and less stressful than if you don't have a will. Then what's the usual procedure if you don't have a will at all? Nothing exists. It goes to some kind of an estate or something?
Yeah, it'll go to your estate, but then, it's tied up. So it's just a will. It's kind of like a roadmap. It helps you guide to where you want things, right? It's just, it's so much easier. We'll maybe do an episode just on
Absolutely,
wills,
we will.
Because there's so much
what?
to them.
Yeah, because there's so much to them.
Yeah.
You might have 3 kids and one's giving you a lot of trouble and you say, I'm leaving that one out. I'm leaving 15 million to this, 15 million to that. And the other one gets don't forget your cat and dog.
Yeah, so, we'll spend a little time, but just, have a will. This is, I want to make sure.
Sit down with a lawyer and drop a will.
And just, again, everything's about planning, estate planning, so.
Don't forget your cat and dog.
Yeah. But again, just always monitor and adjust your plan throughout the decades, constantly. Like that's why it's good yearly just to sit and say, okay, are we on track?
Exactly. Just like going to a doctor.
Yeah, it's like just are we on track? Make sure. Okay, so
tax planning again.
Same. Yeah.
Tax planning. Be mindful of your tax situation. In your 40s, you might be at your peak earning years.
If you have an accountant, make sure you're, and that's where your financial advisor will help too. Like, are we in most tax efficient investments? Like, are we,
are we getting the best tax breaks that we can get?
Because you want to, going forward, you want to make sure that you don't have a huge RSP either. So you want to balance out, do I have enough of my RSP, TFSA, like to balance all that. So that becomes your tax planning as well. So again, retirement planning, tax planning, estate planning. Look at everything's ending in
planning.
Okay, so plan.
Because if you don't plan, you're gonna plan to fail. Focus on, again, in 40s, focus on career and income growth. If you're settled in your job, hey, look around. I'm not saying grass is not necessarily greener on the other side, but in your own company, maybe you can look and see, hey, you know what, I see that position that's posted, that might be good for me. I have the, qualifications for it. Go for it. Don't stay completely stagnant in one position.
Yeah, like you want to keep your career growth going too.
Yeah.
So, 30 years, if you're in the company, it could be a long time. So you want to kind of see.
Maximize your earnings.
Yeah. And just end with, just live below your means.
Yeah, we'll come with that one. Yes,
that'll keep you on track. Just two ways: you can make more money, or cut your budget.
Yeah,
it's the only 2 ways.
Exactly.
Right? So, you can still do stuff. Just budget for it, right?
Yeah,
but if you continue to live through your means, and you have extras to start saving. And
Paul, what comes up in 40s sometimes is, I bought my house in 30s. My neighbors have a bigger house. I'm going to look for something bigger. But do you really need it? Do you really need the bigger house? Are you good with 3 bed? Look at the costs of everything, because it's important now. And therefore, you have some financial wisdom by now. So if you need the bigger house because you've got 3 kids, not each kid has their own bedroom, I guess, then you try and look for a bigger house in your budget. Maybe a bigger car because you need that for transporting the kids to soccer and skating lessons.
Yeah, each decade you don't want to go higher in your mortgage, right?
No, exactly.
You're trying
to pull it down, And again, like you said before, you end up having kids. All 3 kids could be in sports. Hockey's a very expensive sport.
Yeah, sports are expensive. So again, that's planning. Yeah, and especially because they don't just jump into rep hockey. Like they're playing hockey and then they're like, okay, you're going. So plan for that.
Yeah. Or you put your kids in something that doesn't cost much. Maybe soccer. I don't know.
That can be pricey too.
Is figure skating?
Figure skating is expensive.
It's
as well.
expensive,
eh? Gymnastics. A lot of. If you're going to competitive route in anything, I feel like it'd be pretty pricey. So again, plan for that.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, just continue to budget, keep on your financial plan.
Stay consistent and review everything regularly. Yeah.
And then you should be...
So, you know what? Don't plan on living paycheck to paycheck, especially in your 40s. That's a very stressful situation. Yeah, but, by focusing on the areas that Paul and I have mentioned today, you can build a solid financial base, reduce stress. That's an important one, especially in your 40s, reduce stress. Yeah. Feel more confident as you approach slowly your retirement, right? It's in your control how you live your life. You have a solid plan and take comfort in knowing that you're going to achieve those goals. Yeah. Or the other side is you have absolutely no plan and you're living paycheck to paycheck in a very stressful environment. And there's a lot of times, Paul, in marriages, you know, in one of the biggest stressors is financial stress. So
yeah, it's pretty much up there, number one or number
one,
two,
right?
financial stress.
Yeah.
So
you know, if you plan it, then that stress is a
yeah,
lot.
it takes
lower,
a lot. Oh
lot,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, it's financial stress, and I know people want to live in the moment sometimes, but again, you could live till 90. You gotta plan for that. Right?
And that's the other thing. Our life expectancy is now getting longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
So
Again, you may not live to that long, but unfortunately, you got to plan for that. Right?
Yeah. So it's critical to have financial plans. Critical to have financial planners, accountant, and all that, so that you can go towards your goal towards hitting 60. Because trust me, both Paul and I know, before you know it, you're at 60.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, geez, I gotta now work for 15 more years because I didn't do any planning whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's really critical that you do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So please, if you have any questions at all, put it in the comments, look at it, and we will answer them. Please like, please subscribe, and turn your notifications on. It means a lot to us. And we'll see you next time with 50s, planning in your 50s, so, and 60s possibly.
Hopefully we're on track by then.
Yes,
Yeah.
planning to plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.